In this video, we're going to be enabling night photo mode. To do this, we first must boot our GoPro up. You can do that by pressing the power mode button once. Now sometimes the camera will take a little while to turn on, so don't be alarmed, just be patient and wait for the camera to boot up. And then you can use the power mode button to scroll through the camera settings until we get to photo mode. Now we have to use the settings tag button here on the side of the camera to enter the setup menu. So we push this once, and this brings us into the modes of taking photos. We now use the shutter button once to scroll through the highlighted option. If we wanted to scroll through the menu, we could do that using the mode button to scroll through the setting that was highlighted and change that, but the shutter button will edit the highlighted setting. So we're going to push this once, and that will put us into continuous mode, and we're going to do it again to put us into night mode. Now that the camera's in night mode, there's a couple of different options we have, so we can use the mode button to scroll through them. First, we can select the resolution at which it's recording, so this can be 12 megapixels wide, 7 megapixels wide, 7 megapixels medium, or 5 megapixels medium. We'll set it back to 12 wide. The next one is center weighted metering. What this means is that the camera will prioritize whatever's in the center of the shot and make sure that that is what is exposed properly, forgetting about what surrounds it. If you leave this off, the camera will try to matrix meter and make sure that everything in the shot is properly exposed. Personally, I like to leave that off. And then the final option is Pro Tune. Now you can turn this on or off. Once you're done, you can highlight exit and push the shutter button, or at any point in this menu, you can press the settings tag button on the side of the camera to immediately exit the menu and save your settings. Now with night mode enabled, you're going to have about a 10-second exposure on the camera, give or take. So that's 10 seconds of exposure. So this lens is going to open for 10 seconds and it's going to capture light for 10 seconds. What this means is you can do cool things like light painting. To do that, you would set the camera up on a tripod. It's very important to have a tripod because if you try to free hold it, you're going to end up with a lot of shake and blur in the camera because it's a 10-second long exposure. So you set the GoPro up on a tripod or another solid mount, or just set it out on a table somewhere where it's not going to move. Then you can hit the shutter button and you can take a flashlight and go stand in front of the camera and just wave the flashlight around the air, and you can create some very, very cool images. You can draw circles, you can spin it around, or you can even use it to write in the air. The exposure time seems to vary depending on the amount of light available, so the 10 seconds that GoPro says I think is just more of a target, and then the camera will decide based on how much light has entered it when to close the shutter. Guys, this is another GoPro tips and tricks video. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe, check out my channel for lots more videos, and like the video. If you have any questions or comments or topics you'd like to see covered, make sure you leave them down below in the comments. I'll get back to you, and until next time, thank you very much for watching.